How you doing this fine Sunday evening? Let's get in here and pray. Don't forget to fast forward to get to your part, all right? All right. Stay in here with me. Thank you, God, for being Jehovah Nissi, the God of the banner. You place a hedge of protection in front of me, behind me, and on top of me. You keep me safe by any means necessary. Psalms 91, you place me underneath your mighty wing, and nothing shall by any means harm me. No evil will befall me, neither will any plague come nigh my dwelling. 1,000 may fall at my left-hand side, and 10,000 at my right, but it shall not come near me. No weapon formed against me will prosper. It will form, but I have the breakthrough formula from Jesus, Thoth, and Arumala. What does that mean? God has called everybody to the table. Everybody to the table. If you've ever wanted to come sit at the table, God said there's no laws, there's no rules, there's never been any. Man put those up. And I walk in and instead of fussing about what it looks like, just saying, okay. God said, come one, come all, come sit at the table if you're ready. And let's talk about some things. Let's put it all out on the table. All right, all right. Jehovah Shalom, the God of peace, the peace that passes all understanding. Philippians 4. Think on these things that are good and of a good report. And if I keep my mind stayed on you, you'll keep me in perfect peace. No, it don't make sense, but it makes faith. Because what I have faith in, I believe. And what I believe, I'll act on. And what I act on, I'm going to see it in the spirit realm before I see it over here in this realm. Because this realm been tampered with so many times. We don't know who's in charge no more. Okay. The people that you see out front ain't in charge. They just a stunt devil. Okay, remember that. Jehovah Sabaoth, the God of hosts, you're here, you're there, you're everywhere. You are me and I am you. You place a small all-spark in my heart before I even enter my mother's womb. Let's take it then. God told Jeremiah in Jeremiah chapter 1 verse 5. He said, I knew you before you entered your mother's womb. Because Jeremiah didn't know what to do because Jeremiah was young and God called him to be a prophet unto the land. He said, I called you to be a prophet unto the land before you even became out of your mother's womb. But Jeremiah was young and he didn't know what to do. And God said, I got you. I'm going to send the angels before you. Don't be behind you. Let's go. That's all he told Jeremiah. And Jeremiah said, well, let's get it. All right. Just like God did us the same way. God is the same today, tomorrow, and forevermore. God doesn't change. It's us that changes like we change our underwear. God said, God is telling us with our love walk, it could be a foot, it could be 40 feet, it could be 100 feet, 400 feet, 1,000 feet, 2,000 feet. It could be bigger than that, but it's based on how you use your love walk every day. So when you see somebody shining brightly, don't get upset and don't get mad with them. Find out what they doing and you do it in your own particular way. Don't do it how they doing because everybody has their own particular thing they are supposed to be doing here on the earth. And find out with God, what is your purpose? Reach out to me because I would love to go ahead and do your chart and look at you and see what is your purpose. It could be something so simple, but let me tell you something. It's the simple things that God uses to confuse the wise. That's why they still confused about me. Hold on. Help is on the way. Come on here now, Georgia Mass Choir. And don't forget, God placed a small allspark in our heart, and it's up to you how you use it, okay? Jehovah Elohim, the God of gods. We made all this stuff to put between us and God. God said, I don't have a problem with it. But don't you want to come to the Creator before you go to the creation? Because the creation is going to bamboozle you, hoodwink you, and lie to you. Yeah, that's what they're going to do. They're going to lie to you. Instead of us being against each other, we get an opportunity to work with each other. Because we saying the same thing. We saying the exact same thing. It's just everybody trying to rule the world. And we get into our ego and we try to control each other instead of love on each other. Okay. Because God just wants a one-on-one relationship with us. God don't want all that control stuff. God never called us for that. He said he wanted us to have our own mind, think for our own self, ask him or her. Yes, I said him or her. Why? Because there's no sex in the spirit. It's only divine feminine and divine masculine in one. That's what we get an opportunity to do. Okay, so while you fussing about God's sex, God's like, You constantly fuss about stuff that don't make sense. Jehovah El Shaddai, the Most High God. Your name is higher than any name that is on this earth or the universe. If it can be congregated in a sentence and a punctuation put at the end of that sentence, God is higher than that. And if I think of something and you think of something, we try to talk to each other, guess what? It's going to be in a sentence or a paragraph. A paragraph is a bunch of sentences with punctuation. So God is already higher than that. Remember, God already told us, no matter if you're looking at an ephod, no matter if you're looking at with Islam or Muslim, or if you're looking at it through any other religion, it says the same thing. Quit fussing over trivial things and get to the heart of the matter. Ooh, I receive it and I leave it now. Release most holy faith to bring it to pass. Jehovah Jireh, my provider. There is no lack, only provision. You're more than enough and you supply all my needs. It may not look like I thought it was going to look, but it's supplied. I'm worthy because I exist and I exist because I'm worthy. Okay, that's it. I'm a human. I came out of a womb. I'm worthy. I'm worth billions. There's nothing that God will ever withhold from me. God is my source, not the things on the outside of me. God will use people on this earth to bless me. See, wealth comes from the north, as above, so below, not from the east, west, and the south. It will always be supplied supernaturally if I believe it. It's based on my frequency and my energy, which is key. God wants us to be sovereign. So if God calls me here and I'm over here, God said, come to me as you are, I come. I change my perspective. Every time you get up and you go to somebody, you change your perspective. Remember that. Jehovah Rapha, my healer. You heal my mind, my soul, my body, and my spirit. You heal so much of me. Today I was stretching because I felt like a little tease or something. I said, not today. We're going to keep stretching. We're going to stretch more before I go to bed. Okay, that's what we do. We play no games. We keep our body flowing. Okay, Jehovah Gamola, the God of the recompense. Ain't no getting even with people and arguing with them and wasting energy. You know what they did. They know what they did. Why? Okay, just send all that negative energy up to the Creator. Ask the Creator to cleanse it and purify it. Send it back to the sender. Cleanse and purify. No blocking their path. No stopping their path. No matter what they done. Because their path was already set up because of the seeds they sowed. Remember, everything we say, do, or think is a seed. And seeds turn into trees, good or bad. So if they sow bad, imagine the tree that's coming up. Okay, cause and effect, sowing and reaping, and corresponding action is in place. Let it go. I live under the law of assumption that it's already worked out and I don't have to stress about it. Everything doesn't require my response or my fight. I choose my battles properly and I leave it in God's hands. Ain't no fussing and no stressing me out. I'm just not finna have it. And so it will be, it's supposed to be, and forevermore. You do what you do, but I'm not finna be wasting energy on somebody that ain't gonna listen. That's casting your pearls before swine. So why do that? Yeah. Cause we want it our way. Sometimes it's best just to leave it alone, I promise you. I know it don't feel good. Look in the description below to see a few items just for you. My books incorporate the essence of God. If you want to feel the presence of God, read In the Garden with the Father, Understanding True Intimacy. Let's get in here right here. Let's get in here right here. Page 80. I'm going to lead you in some areas that seem uncomfortable, but it's me. Trust me and go forward with me. The time is now for everything I place in your hands. It's a time of urgency of it all. Not rushed pressure, but the purpose of movement to get it done in this season. Trust my voice and move in my time and go now. The time is now. You're creating in my likeness, act like it. Put away the things that's not like me. Focus on me as you are in my image. Come on here. Oh, that I put the fire in your feet, both so shook. And I thank you for my other two books, Befriending the Shadow, Unshakable Peace, Unstoppable Change. Both of those are shadow activity books. I didn't see any on the market. God said, we'll make it. I said, we'll say less. So what happens is there's a word of knowledge. Then you have an exercise. Okay, you can have some scavenger hunts in there. You can have a good time. Okay, just in case God puts you in isolation, you still gonna have fun and grow at the same time. Then you have, not so nice. You have shadow questions. They in your face. All right. Sometimes you need an in the face moment. And then you have color pages. God asked me to keep the color page between the age of 5 and 10. Why? Most childhood wounding happens between the age of 5 and 10 when you should have been protected, but the people that were supposed to protect you didn't know how to protect you, so know how to protect them. Yes, instinct was supposed to kick in, but a lot of them didn't have the instinct. You know why? because a lot of stuff happened. Not making excuses for them, but they just didn't have the bandwidth. Okay, forgive them and keep it moving. By the age of 7, it is solidified in your system. By the age of 10, it is really in your system. If nobody came to assist, by the age of 21 to 25, you are considered an adult, and it is now your responsibility to walk your way out. I know it sounds rough, but between the age of 21 and 25, we think we know everything and can't nobody tell us nothing, so that's why you're an adult. Okay. And then you have 4 pages of drawing, sketching, doodling, writing in your dreams, your visions, whatever you have that's going on, because the closer you get to God, when you have a true God experience, you ain't trying to control nobody else. You know why? Because you're looking at yourself. You're looking at you. And what you're seeing is, you're just seeing that God keeps doing stuff. And you can't explain it. And people will be with you and they'll see it and they'll blame it on you and say that you did it. And you doing magic and you're not. Your mouth was wide open because you didn't even know it was going to happen. Okay? It is hard to explain spiritual stuff to people that refuse to believe in the spiritual realm. When the spiritual realm is before anything else, because we are spirit first. Remember that. Don't forget about my other 2 books that are already on the New York Times bestseller list: Influence and Impact with Chris Voss, and Mindset Matters with Jack Canfield. You can pick up these books anywhere books are sold. Okay. Woo, because God is good and their mercy endures forever. Let's get in here and let's go. 11:11 on the clock. No matter what your background, God don't care nothing about your background. You know why? He know everything about you, even the thing in the booth in the back in the dark, and he still loves you. Notebooks and journals for all, coloring books to help in meditating, recalibrating the mind. You'll see the link to the podcast of the Women's Leveling Up. It was great being there. I also put new links of magazines that I was in. Oh, I was just on the cover of a magazine in the month of February. September, October, December, and January and February. Child, God has been busy, and I'm like, thank you. I placed a new link to my own personal bookstore. I'm excited about this venture. Why, I have a whole catalog over there on Amazon. Type in my name and you'll see. Whole catalog. But on my store is how to walk out the deep, darkest ventures that you're fighting that nobody knows what you're talking about. And when you talk, people have their head turned to the side and they don't understand until they go into the darkness. That's what I'm talking about. There are some freebies added just for you. The 105 Spiritual Laws. There's only 7 in the initiate book. They did that on purpose. They was hoping that you weren't going to look no further. But see, I messed around and looked a little bit further because I'm always questioning everything. And then I saw another book with 12. And I said, wait a minute. If there's 7 here and there's 12 here, there got to be more. And I did some research, found out it's 105. Stop. Even though it's 105 spiritual laws, we are no longer underneath the Mosaic laws where you control by the laws. Because if you stay in the law, this system controls you. But the minute you step over what Jesus gave you, that's why they don't want to talk about Jesus. Well, that's why they act like Jesus didn't exist. That's why they talk down. Anytime somebody try to change your name, remember, whoever's trying to change your name and say you didn't exist, really don't want you to look in that hole. So go look in that hole. Go down that rabbit hole. That's the one you go down. When the one they say, don't look over here, ain't nothing to see. That's the one you open up and see what's going on over there. All right. So you can say he was an archetype. You can say he was a prophet. You can say whatever you want. But let me tell you this. When you say his name, the mouths start foaming up and spit be going everywhere. And they start acting up. And you can't cast the devil out if don't nobody want him be free. You only can let the strong man be cast out if they don't want it. But they love it, so let it stay there. Okay, keep it moving. All right, so number 1, did you see Judas anymore once he betrayed Jesus? No, because once Judas betrayed Jesus, he took himself out. But did you see him anymore? No, so don't listen to the church no more. The minute you see your Judas, you get rid of him. Boop, you put up a boundary. Boop. You don't see him no more. Don't look over the wall because you don't like me. Because you don't prove that. All right. So then the disciples said, Jesus, how many times will I forgive my brother? 7 times? Jesus said, 7 times 7. That's 490 times for the same thing. All right, let's go there. Then ask this question. How? Okay, then Jesus broke it down. He said, forgive me of my debts as I forgive my debtors. Let's break that down. I forgive me before I forgive anybody else. I love on me before I love on anybody else. Jesus broke it down. That's why it was called the way. It was never supposed to be called Christians. It was called the way. That's why we're called the way showers. All right. That's what the disciples were. Way showers. All right. So let's break it down. Put up a boundary. Boop. This is how you love the unlovable. Number 1, God, Forgive me because I didn't know what I just learned until just now when I got betrayed, I got hurt, I did not know that was there. And then I forgive them. Why do I forgive them? I'm not finna hold myself in bondage to something I just found out about. I'm not finna do that. I love myself too much. I'm finna forgive them. You know why I forgive them? Not for them, but for me. Because I can't move unless I forgive them. I'm in quicksand and cement until I forgive them. And so once I forgive them, now I'm free to go. Whatever they do, that's between them and God. It ain't got nothing to do with me because I'm done now. I'm gone. And then grace. Grace is God's willingness to get involved with human affairs and pull you out of your mess. If you like me, I said, God, if I'm down here in some stuff and I can't get out, pull me out. God said, say less because I don't put too much in you. Just like we got the 10 commandments. It's really 613 commandments. You want to see them all? Get the Torah, the Tanakh, or the Chumash. The Tanakh is the whole Old Testament from Genesis to Malachi. The Chumash is just the law. Genesis to Deuteronomy. Once you read it for yourself and you see it, there ain't no going back from there because your eyes are open and now you cannot say that you don't know what you know because the King James has been changed too many times and too many hands has been in the pot. All right, so you can see it for the truth. And then on top of that, God told the Israelites, there's no way possible that you can keep 613 laws every day for the rest of your life without me. They said, yes, we can, us and our children. Wait a minute, I didn't ask to be in this. That was the first time. The fifth time, they said it was Jesus. So the king said, so who you want to release, Barabbas or Jesus? They said Barabbas. Barabbas was a serial killer. DC sniper. Just taking people out. And we just got him. And they talking about we gonna let him free. King said, well, I wash my hands of this. I ain't got nothing to do with it. You know what they said? We know. I said, wait a minute. Did I just read that? They said, we know, put it on us and our children. Wait a minute. Don't put me in to cash a check that you wrote that you didn't have the money in the bank to cash. Now, I'm sitting here cashing the check, dealing with all the karma that you dealt with, that you put out there. Because you knew I was going to be strong enough, but I didn't know I had to fight this hard. Dang on it, man. Okay. And you know what? That's why we know everything, but we don't know anything. That's why Jesus said, come to the kingdom like a child. Because children, no matter how many times you fall, you keep getting up. And adults say, I'm going to just quit. That's why you come as a child. And it keeps us from attachments as we go through each level and lesson taught to me by Jesus. So, Issue is an Orisha dealing with the Ifa and the Oriva traditions. Okay, just so you know. And Issue is at the crossroads as well as Hecate is at the crossroads. Don't forget about your adjective and your 400 value PDF. You put them together and you change your whole Sims character to this jank of a motor game. It ain't nothing but a hologram. Don't forget to sign up for the newsletter, the juicy updates, and the upcoming events. Look at my new link for the school app. I got things started. It's over there. It's on and popping. Come and visit me, okay? I was also inducted into the new class of Who's Who of 2025, Influential Women of 2025, and Women Worldwide. Yeah, God was giving out gifts, and I said I'm worthy. I ain't blocking nothing. Okay. And look what I received in 2017. I was doing work with my nonprofit, helping women and teenage girls get out of sex trafficking. I had a lot of people helping me. I looked up, they was helping somebody else with a bigger name, and God said, let it go. And I said, say less. And then I was helping teen girls that came out and said they were LGBTQ, AI, and the ones that came out and said they were pregnant to their families and their families kicked them out. And I said, we can't do this because I'm constantly taking them off the streets and you throwing them on the streets. You don't even know what's going on out here in these streets. They were like, what? I said, don't worry about it. Just give them to me. And I took them and I put them in the building where I was at. I took them to the teen center. A lot of them just wanted to go to the teen center and be around people they knew. Okay. Be around people their age. Then I was helping out women to get out of domestic violence. And 2 of them we lost. You know why? Because they went back to more than once. I understand. Let me tell you why. I don't judge nobody because everybody's addicted to something. People are addicted to smoking cigarettes and their lungs about to fall out of their body with an oxygen tank and they still smoking. Then I've seen people addicted to weed and they are throwing up, going to the emergency room and they tell them that they need to lay off of it for 3 days. They take the medicine and still smoke. Then I've seen people that work out so hard in the gym, they going hard in the paint up to 5 times a day. Then I've seen people that work out up to 5 times. That's all they do is work out. They just work out because they're addicted. So if I'm a judge them, I got to judge me. Because I got my own stuff. We all got our own stick. Okay. And then I was helping people that lost everything in house fires and floods. I was helping so many people because people were just giving me stuff because they knew I had a nonprofit and they knew I was assisting people because I was just putting stuff on my webpage. I was showing them what I was doing. I'm listening. I was showing them what I was doing. And then, so I had so much stuff. So when they would come, I would say, how many bedrooms you need? They would tell me, and I said, only take what you need because somebody else is getting. And I would step back and let them get what they were going to get. And then on top of that, I was giving them toiletries and the female toiletries and the fingernail polish remover in order for them to calm down. You know, to paint your fingernails, you got to calm down, or the fingernail polish will be all over your fingernails. I learned that in college. Saying in order to come out of shock mode, you got to calm your nervous system. So that was a way in order to be pretty, just calm down our nervous system. Okay. All right, 'cause they just lost everything in seconds. How would you feel? And then I helped out this young lady for Thanksgiving and another family for Christmas because I put it out on social media that I have a nonprofit. I wanted to help some families for Thanksgiving and Christmas. So she reached out and I said, well, say less. I went to honey baked ham. That's my budget. Okay. Went to honey baked ham and then gave them $150 worth of groceries. Then helped out 2 families for Christmas. Gave them honey baked ham. But it was more of like the chicken and poultry because they had children with special needs. And then I gave them $150 worth of groceries. Then I also helped out 2 women go to therapy for 3-6 months, gave them $250 or $150 worth of groceries. You can see it all on my website at www.rwt as in Tom, C as in Charlie.org. You can see what I was doing. God is faithful. God told me whatever I did in the dark and private, he was going to reward me in public. God is faithful and I'm thankful for everything. You don't have to show everybody what you're doing because everybody don't see you. Sometimes just do it. Don't forget about the link the link to receive 25% off your first order. This is a company I use with all natural remedies for the assistance during the diagnosis of breast cancer in 2017. Not my, but the diagnosis. Let's say that again. The diagnosis in 2017. I didn't take any cancer treatments. None. I didn't take no ports. None of that stuff. You know what I did? I went and got me a naturopathic doctor because the doctors that was talking to me, they was gaslighting me, and I said, not today, Satan. So I asked some questions. They started gaslighting me. What I didn't tell them was I was already been to medical school for pharmacy tech. I'd already been to school for massage therapy, and both of those schools are very in-depth in the anatomy in the human body and what medicine does to the body. And in pharmacy tech, I learned how to make medicine. Okay. So, yeah. But I didn't tell them that. I was just listening. Sometimes you gotta be like Ray Charles. You gotta play country dumb to see how much information people are really gonna give to you. Okay, and they gave me none. And I said, no, I'm gonna take care of myself. I'm gonna put my life in my own hands. And I said, I bind up every disease, germ, bacteria, growth, tumor, parasite that is on my body, and I send it back to the pit of hell. I loose the blood of Jesus, and I loose the hand of God, and I take full responsibility over myself because I ate this food. I did this to myself. They said, what you doing? I put my order in. So when I get back with my testimony, you know what happened. I went home and talked to God. God said, get that naturopathic doctor. Got a naturopathic doctor. Pulled down everything the doctor said he ever said about being alkaline. Showed my naturopathic doctor and said 5 things we had to take off each side. I said, say less. And then I was taking them with me to the grocery store and to the farmer's market. Then my ancestors said, go outside, get that dandelion, get that morning glory. You can, all right. And then get that wild scallions. Yes, it smells like onions. You seen him on the video of it. It smells like onions. You add it, honey. If our ancestors are just leaving here at 85, 95 centurions and they ate off the land, child, I'm gonna eat off the land too, because this stuff they giving us in these boxes and all this food they say they making, it ain't healthy. It ain't nothing but made by these tobacco companies. Child, they try to take you out with a cigarette. Don't you think they do the same thing what they doing? That's why they getting sued now. And then the poke salad. The poke salad looked like lettuce and cilantro. Had a baby together. It's some braided around the edges. In this country, they sell it as cilantro. Child, it's got a nutty flavor to it. You gotta try it for yourself. Then I put it on top of that spinach underneath that jasmine rice. That jasmine rice will be, but that chlorophyll was still in place. And it went in my insides and started healing my organs on the inside and started moving all that parasites and stuff out of my system because I started changing my diet, honey. Yes. And I was working with my naturopathic doctor to move the parasites out too. And then, honey, child, let me tell you. And then I added seafood, because you know you need omega-3s in your diet, that fish and everything. And then I added, I just got some today. I went to the store. I went and got some today. I got some avocado. Avocado is vitamin D, as well as wild caught salmon. Honey, I had to get some of that and put that back in my diet. Okay. Added with them greens. And then I added some zucchini squash and red onions. Those are cancer-fighting agents. Tell me I'm blessed to be alive. Yes, I am, because God is good and His mercy endures forever. God said, I got you. I said, and I believe you. Psalms 91, 1-6 NLT. Those that live in the shelter of the Most High will find rest in the shadow of the Almighty. This I declare about the Lord. He alone is my refuge, my place of safety. He is my God, and I trust Him. For He will rescue me from every trap, and did and still does, and protect me from every deadly disease, did and still does. He will cover me with His feathers, did and still does, and shelter me with His mighty wings. He is faithful to His promises. Let's talk about God's promises. God's promises are yes and amen every single day of the week. However, if God sees something going on the street and He's trying to protect you from it, God will say, I'm going to send you on a route that ain't nobody else been. I'm going to give you a spiritual machete, and you gonna pave the way. And you going to open the door for everybody else. Some of them going to be disrespectful because they don't know no better. But I got that. Don't you worry about that. I said, all right. And he said, and the angel going to go before you and make the crooked places straight, and I'm going to be your rear guy. And I said, all right, say less. And I can start going. I'll be like, what? What we doing? And then the guy said, I got you. Keep going. Armor and my protection. I'm not afraid of the terrors of the night, nor the bullets that fly at day. Okay. I do not dread the disease that stalks in darkness. Why? David told us in Psalm 23, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me, my rod and staff. Who knew my spine and shoulder to shoulder was my cross? Jesus said, pick up your cross daily and follow me. Jesus was good with them parables, honey. You can't walk without the cross in your body. You need your spine and your shoulder to shoulder. That holds your whole body up. Okay, be careful about them upside down crosses. Be careful about this stuff that you doing now. Because you doing vows unknowingly. They locking you into this demonic stuff. Look at what you're doing. When you doing that particular thing, they go with a particular religion. Pay attention to what you're doing. That's an upside down cross. Pay attention to what you're doing. All right. All right. And then it says, my cup runneth over. Honey, that means an overflow and abundance in all areas of my life. And then it says, surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Then it says in Isaiah 53, God will send the angels to go before me to set asunder to make the crooked places straight. And God is always my rear guide. Why is God my rear guide? Making sure goodness and mercy follows me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. And why am I the house of the Lord forever? Because I dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Because as a child of the light, I remain in the light. And when I step out of this vessel and step into the light with God, I will remain the house of the Lord forever. Know the disaster that strikes at midday. Don't none surprise God. It surprises us. But God said, I got this. God said, don't touch it. I want to say thank you to all that view my videos, and say thank you to all of my subscribers for your beautiful energy. I send your energy back to you. I appreciate you so much for coming to listen to the message. Woo, I appreciate you so much. Without you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because it helps my channel. Hand over heart for your affirmation, or however you choose to do it. I don't control nobody. I just share. I am not society's script. I am my own definition. I am not of this system, but a flame from God, source, the divine. I don't stress about what I can't physically fix. I let go of that attachment, because it can't be fixed in 15 minutes. Let go. I monitor the use of my own energy. Honey, monitor your own energy, because people are looking for you to get out of the presence of God so they can snatch you up. Okay? All right. Just letting you know. I woke up ready for life. I wrote down what I remembered so I wouldn't forget. Wrote down my dream that I remember so I wouldn't forget. Then I went to the restroom, and after that, all of a sudden, heaviness hit out of nowhere. And I said, wait a minute, God, we had this yesterday. What you trying to do? We doing this twice in a row? So I don't know if I can do this twice in a row, because yesterday was rough. And then I said, what does this mean? And I heard, do something different. to get out of stuckness. I heard, take a leap of faith. And I said, oh, I already got a list wrote down that I did last night before I went to sleep. I jumped on that list, and honey, what you don't do is tell me take a leap of faith, because I take 7. I don't take 1. I take 7 of them suckers. I make the enemy mad. I make the whole system mad, and I did, because my phone started acting up. And I said, oh, you think, honey, I got a computer too. What? You can't stop nothing. You can't quit now. What? Sit down somewhere with yourself. How they used to say back home in the gullah, get somewhere and sit down. Get somewhere. Okay. You'll never say all the words. Okay, somebody sit over there and I shut it off. Okay, that means, I ain't gonna tell you what it means. You gotta know what it means. Okay. I did something so small, but it was huge for the spirit realm. I did something so small. I promise you, y'all, it was this small. And everything just started moving. It was simple. But to God, it was big because it showed what I truly wanted, and I trusted it. A new portal opened for me to step in. I said, and I heard, don't look back. You think I look back? No, I was not finna turn no pillar of salt. The devil is a lie, not I. Ooh. I wasn't on my daily routine, but to tell God's source of divine that I was ready. I didn't quite understand with my brain, but my intuition said, do this. It wasn't making any sense at all, but I still did it. What I felt on the inside. Sometimes the jump isn't the biggest thing for us, but for us to be honest with what we really want in our core. What do you really want? Like, really? Make a list and go forward. Be prepared to flow with the surrender, then jump back into the building phase. There's no book on this, just trusting your own intuition. We're in a different place now. It's an equal playing field because we haven't seen this since the Berlin Wall fell. That same energy. Okay. The Bible reading today. Y'all, the Bible reading today was off the chain. I hope y'all ready for y'all stuff. Go ahead and get something to write down because we finna talk about the Bible. We finna break down Ephah. We finna break down Allah. We finna break it all down. Okay. So have you something to write down with because we're gonna write it down. Because what I don't like is when we are pulled apart when we're doing the same thing. Okay. So the Bible reading today was Ephesians 3:14. Bow on my knee and surrender to God. Not the person God is using. That's called idolatry. I'm allowing myself to be used to release what God was given to me. Okay. Don't bow to the person that's giving the wisdom. The person that's giving the wisdom is a vessel that's being used. You is to God, divine source. Because when you start bowing down to a man, you are making an idol, and God don't like idols. Okay. In Ephah, the practitioners seek to align their aura, okay, with Olodumare, the supreme creator, through Ashe, divine energy and power, or how we would say in the Eastern chi. Ashe is your chi, which is your energy, to find balance, resilience, and spiritual empowerment. The act of bowing the knee is similar to the reverence or the respect shown during Atafe initiation or daily consultations to align one's destiny, recognizing that power comes from a divine inner source on the inside. Dealing with Allah, we would go with Surah Arad 13:28 states, verily in the remembrance of Allah do hearts find rest. Where are you finding your rest in? Not the people that's giving you the information that's coming from that holy book board. Don't surrender to the person. Surrender to the source within. Surrender to the source without. Surrender to the source, not to the person giving the message, because then you're making them a god. Wait a minute, you're already a god. Psalms 82 verse 8 says, don't you remember I said that you are gods? So why would you give away your godhead to bow to someone else? You are God. Act like it. Which is the internal strengthening, similar to Surah 2:8-2:86. Allah does not burden a soul beyond what it can bear. How much we can bear, we can't bear. And that will be for us. 2 Corinthians 10, verse 38. God always gives us the way out of escape. Okay, he will never give you more than you can bear. Because to whom much is given, much is required. That's why he said, study that shows thyself approved. A workman is worthy of his hire. Provide spiritual internal resilience. Bow the knee before the Father, not man, the Father. While Muslims bow directly to Allah in surrender, the concept of complete surrender to the Creator is similar. The verse 65, verse 3, and whoever relies upon Allah, then he is sufficient for him. What? And in the Bible it says, my grace is sufficient for thee. Keep going, Peter, Paul, come on. Focuses on finding strength in God's power, mirroring the reliance on divine riches in Ephesians. Again, never to the person. That's idolatry. To source, we surrender, not to the man or the woman on this earth. The person in front of us gives us confirmation, confidence, and an extra boost of courage to keep going on our journey, not to control our thinking. And if you feel like your thinking is controlled, you like Elijah and leave that certain book. Okay. All right. Symptoms today. Hearing. Woo. Every time, and the song by Marek Brown Clark, won't be over until it's good. Every time I look your way, I see good. I see good for you. Okay, come on, Marek Brown Clark. And then I was hearing, I'm got the eye of the tiger, dancing, I'm dancing in the fire. And you're gonna hear me, Katy Perry. Come on. Roar. I was having vivid dreams today with wisdom and understanding, different than I've ever seen before. Like the night before last, it was different. And I wrote it down and I just kept looking at it and I said, God, what am I supposed to be getting from this? What am I supposed to be gleaning for this? And in that short burst throughout the day, I began visions of that dream. And then God dropped some in my intuition. I said, and then I write it down. And then I asked, am I supposed to add this into my life today? And the only thing I heard was, write it down. More information is coming. Don't know what's going to happen next, but I'm keeping tabs on what I'm hearing. Lots of old people coming up to release. But I heard, don't look back, just walk forward. I didn't look back neither. I'm not finna turn no pillow salt. I ain't got time. I don't know what was back there, but I ain't got time. I went to grab some things. People were acting weird, so I came back home after getting the item. When I say I came back, people just acting. And then I remember what happened to me yesterday, so I was just like, okay, they don't know what to do with themselves. When I say we're acting weird, people just... I know how I felt yesterday. That's why I ain't come out, because I felt like I had a spirit of murder on me, so I ain't come out. They were people that was walking forward, then they was walking backwards, then they was walking to the side. I said, oh, they glitching. They glitching. They glitching. I said, bless their heart. I was in the store and the man was he was glitching, like he was trying to walk through the shelf with the food on it. I was like, don't he know he can't walk? He can't walk through the shelf. His spirit can, but I was like, wow. I said, get up out of here. Just leave. I spent time with myself talking to me. And I kept saying, how do you feel? Being honest with myself on some things. My body shut down. I took a nap. My body said, child, we gotta go lay down. I'm noticing I'm fighting something unseen that was blocking my flow. I said, I don't know who you are or what you think, but you don't block nothing over here, partner. F you and everything else that's walking with you. What you don't do is stop me from moving forward, because I will plow you down. You don't understand. I am a semi-truck. I am Optimus Prime in this beat. I will roll over you and not give two F's if I harm your soul, boo-boo. Because I am done with the foolery. I'm done with the tomfoolery. I'm done. It's time to go forward. and I'm moving forward. Okay. I will pause when I need to, but this mess is glitching in the systems and all of this stuff, and I'm trying to do stuff on my phone and on the computer, and I said, oh, so you trying to hold me back? Not I, said the cat. I said, I will find a way. I don't know who else is getting blocked, but keep pushing. And no, this Berlin Wall coming down. Whatever's right here, we knocking it down. Don't give up. It's time to say F this system that has been living here, because we finna make a new one. We can live how we want to and how we deserve. We can have better because we want better. Okay. And I celebrated myself. I had a celebration meal today. It wasn't much. But let me tell you something. I celebrated with the funds that I had to celebrate myself. And I told myself, thank you. I love you. Yeah, I told myself that. I said, I love you. There's nobody here to celebrate with us, but we would be usually thinking of a celebration. But honey, we're going to celebrate ourselves. We're going to celebrate. Had a good time. Everyone gets their own opportunity to do their own work and see things in their own timing. It's hard when you love folks. I promise you it's hard when you love folks because you just want them to see it. You want to drag them with you, but you can't drag nobody with you that they can't see. But in their own time, okay, keep going because they're going to start fighting you. So it's like trying to save somebody from the water. And they drowning and you trying to save them. They kicking you in the face and they drowning you. You like, you know what? You out here on your own, bro. You just got to figure it out. And then you talking to them, you like, calm down. I'm going to help you, but I'm going to need you to calm down. Okay, they get the opportunity to decide just like you did. Don't carry nobody else's battles, they burden or they fight. Okay, read Philippians 2:12 for yourself. Read it for yourself. Okay, I'm going to just give you the wisdom. If you take it, you take it. If you don't, that's on you. James 1:19-21 NLT. Don't allow anyone to take your power or your energy. Okay, I'm just giving you the wisdom. If you use it, good. If you don't, then it ain't on me. Understand this, my dear brothers and sisters. We must all be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to get angry. Human anger doesn't produce the righteousness God desires. That righteous anger says we need to do something now, but it also says I'm not going to lose my life for you if you ain't listening. So get rid of all the negative thinking and humbly accept the word that God has planted in your hearts. I don't know what God put in you, but I know what he put in mine, for it has the power to save your souls. What? Verses like the Quran 17:53 and Quran 4:148 highlight the importance of speaking kindly and avoiding slander and gossip. Are we doing that? And speaking the truth? Or are we trying to make somebody else feel bad about themselves? Let's do the basics. 2:254. This verse emphasizes that it's not for creation that is under Allah to question Allah's decisions. It requires the believers to surrender to Allah's will, which is the message of faith and surrender to divine authority. That's what we do. You do as much as you can, and then you say, okay, I did all I can do. Now it's up to God. I can't force nothing. I got to wait for God to move some things. Okay. Do we really know who we are? Do we? It's time that we find out. It's time that we take time to do our studies, whatever we're in. I'm not in your study time. I don't know what God has asked you to do. Meditate and find out who you really are. Be so secure that when things come to steal your joy, you bounce back quicker every time. Because every time something tries to steal your joy, you get an opportunity to look at it from a different perspective. I'm still saying, you know why? It's my spiritual birthright. It's my birthright. My birthright is abundance. And I'm worthy of it all. I'm worthy of love. I'm worthy of it. Woo! I'm worthy of a life of love. You know why? Because I came out of a womb of a woman. I am worthy. Do you know how much worth we have? And they do everything to tear down our worth, child. Look in your heart. Look into your heart. What it say? With a positive mind. That's what sparkle. In your glory. And it all will be fine. Come on here now. Do 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 do, hey, do 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 do. I'm worthy of a rounded, wealthy life. That is abundance in all areas of my life. Nothing missing, nothing broken. Being in it, we God. Being in it, with Ifa. What? Being in it with Ori. What? Being in it with Allah. What? Being in it, hey, because we all the same. You just heard me read a scripture that had all the same information. We're doing the same thing. But the organization of religion is blinded. Once you take the scales of religion off your eyes, you can see the truth. Boom, 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 boom. A wicked, 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 wicked. Oh, well, there's a dream that is in my heart. Don't know where that came from, but I'm with it tonight. Okay, I released the timelines is no longer for me. Why, honey? Let's go with it. Let's go with it. Let's go with it. I don't have no animosity for you. I don't have no hate for you. I don't have no bitterness with you. I don't have nothing against you. I want you to receive everything that is coming to you. I want you to receive what you said you want. I want you to receive everything that you put out here on this earth. Okay. I don't have nothing against you. I want nothing but the best for you. But I don't know why the opposite is for me. But you know what? That's not for me to figure out. Only thing I'm going to say to you is, I cut every cord that was connecting us. I burned every cord and I severed the tie. We can only walk together. We agree according to Amos, and we don't agree. So you go your way, I'm going to go mine. No harm, no foul. It just didn't work out, and it's okay. I'm not even looking in your direction because God told me not to look back. So whatever's going on back there, that's between you and God, all right? Because I have no dice, as Andrew Dice would say back in the day. Andrew Dice Clay. Okay. Woo. I release the timelines that require me to shrink. You can go and suck so many toes, about 15 million if you want to. I won't be quiet so you can shine. The devil is a lie. I have a mind and critical thinking. Honey, everything that I've been through, you think I'm going to be quiet? Like that saying, hush, hush, somebody calling my name. Hush, hush, somebody calling my name. Hush. Somebody called my name. Yeah. Somebody called me. Come on now. I'm not rushing or placing pressure on myself. I'm just open for clear communication and wisdom on my next move in stillness. That has been my saving grace, is stillness. Just getting quiet and allowing God to talk. I walk forward lighter, clearer, and deeply supported. I am never alone. I have my ancestors, angels, and God. There's a 3-4 cord that's not easily broken. I'm so secure knowing if I'm walking by myself, I am truly never alone. If they jump out them bushes on you, that's between you and your ancestors. Because that's something that was done way back when. I don't have nothing to do with that. I'm out here walking in love and doing my part. Okay. What's going on over there? I'm not looking. Angels always bring me something amazing that causes my heart to light up. They did it today. I was out in nature. They did it today. They made sure I was loved on, and I appreciate it. I never get tired of appreciating. I'm aware enough to pause, breathe, and sit still for the next move, or just know that I am loved in every way that love can show itself. God is amazing. God is amazing, y'all. Love has so many ways to show itself. Are you allowing love to show itself away on you? People go out of their way to do me good because of the favor of God on my life. Rules, laws, regulations, and any red tape is removed from me. It is said we don't even usually do this. They just can't even help it. I can't help it either. But if God say, no ma'am, and my intuition say, I don't like that. If my ancestors say, I wish you would go over there, guess what? My hands is up and I'm not touching you with a 10-foot pole like the Grinch. Not touching you with a 10-foot pole. I have miracles every day and uncommon blessings find me without me even searching for them. They just fall upon me because I'm aligned. And you know what? All my electronics is aligned with the flow of God. You know why? Because we start doing like this and God be like, here you go. Here you go. God start milli rocking out here. I don't consent in any energy control. I'm grounded, safe, and fully in control of myself, untouchable, and fully sovereign in myself. All cords are removed from me. Cut, cut, snip, snip, burn, burns. And I sever every cord of connection because we don't agree. Birds of a feather flock together and we don't fly together. I'm worthy of the dream and everything my heart desires. What? If it's in here, you best believe it's coming to pass. Because I said, God, we're going to wall. What? We're going to keep going. Thank you, Chris Brown. I allow clear thinking to find me without fighting for it. I don't fight for it. I ain't fighting you. I don't compete with you. I ain't doing that. I ain't envious of you. Because I know mine is coming. And guess what? It's already here, child. And guess what? It's tailor-made just for me. I'm worthy of seeing all my dreams come true while seeing the light in darkness at any moment. If I take my mind and put it up here to higher perspective, I could change my life in seconds. A whole minute. I saw this somewhere and I said, that's mine. All things come back to me in all things come to me in perfect mature timing for my highest outcome and for the good of all. Because if I win, you win, and you win, I win. Because we're going to share. And when we share, it's going to bless. It's going to bless. Mm-mm. Money comes back to me multiplied on every dollar that was spent. Double, triple, quadruple, 100-fold on every dime that was spent. Everything that was taken without my approval, and the stuff that they was sneakily installed. Okay. I'm willing to open space for things I truly want by being gentle with myself. I was so gentle with myself today. I'm intentional with love for myself. Ooh, child, if you don't do nothing else, love yourself. Give yourself your own flowers. I saw this on Google and I said, thank you, Google. I'm going to add some seasoning to it. Spirit, if it's in my highest good, I remove all energy that doesn't belong to me from my energy field. And I send it back to its rightful owner, cleansed and purified, no matter where we originally met. Universe, world, timeline, dimension, realm, space dust, space rock, space worm, space state. It don't matter. I sever the cord of connections. The lessons have been learned. I release you to find your own way. I call all my energy fragments back to me now. I am free. I am free. I am free. I'm like Magneto. I get all my stuff back. Everything that is mine is here. I now release all energy, traumas, and patterns. And anything of my ancestors is not in alignment with my highest good across all timelines, dimensions, and realms. And anything they left behind and they didn't claim before they left, it's mine too. I am free. I am free. I am free. I'm free. Free falling. Tom Petty. Boom, boom, boom. And heartbreakers. I sit in peace while I trust the process and I don't rush the process. Can we sit and wait when it get quiet? That's the question. That's when you over here like, man, I'm ready. I'm doing speaking engagements and podcasts that bring transformation. The signature topic, helping visionaries and dreamers to reconnect, reinvent, go through the rebirth process, and rise with confidence. To get them to ground their dreams in the now, to see it come to pass, and out of the spirit and imagination realms. Ephesians 3:1, God has given us everything in spiritual place, now we get to pull everything down. I have courses and books that teach individuals how to return to themselves, quiet the noise, and live boldly on their own terms. I'm holding space right now for the people who feel like they're repeating cycles over and over again and can't fully explain it because it's ancestral and generational. I'm tackling all the sacred cows of religion and how we think the same labels, but we're being controlled and in fear. We're opening every door. Nothing is off limits to get totally free step by step. Step by step, one direction. Okay? Write me in the comments to gain more information. Okay? Or hit the link below. Hi, my name is RenettaCheston, the owner and founder of Life Success Results LLC. Soul Igniter, trauma overcomer, holistic spiritual strategist. I work with the whole being from my level of training and education. Spirit, mind, spirit, soul, and body. I have a bachelor's and a master's degree in healthcare to understand and comprehend mental and public health. If you have a public health problem, you have a mental health problem. Okay. And vice versa. All right. Like a public health problem of telling the FBAs that are on this planet that they was taken out of Africa when we was here the whole time, and making it a mental health problem, which turns into a public health problem because our lineage and everything that we had was taken from us over and over and over again. Massage therapy, Reiki and sound healing, holistic practitioner, where we pull out all the impurities from the rooter to the tutor, human design practitioner. We look at we go back to the beginning, get your purpose, and we come back and look at all that generational baggage, start pulling it out. When I was given the task of having uncomfortable conversations with others, I knew then that my path was going to be different and probably would be a little standoffish from others until they do a little bit of their own work. But I didn't let that stop me. I started working on myself. Okay. Woo-hoo-hoo. And I ask myself uncomfortable questions every day to get out of old patterns. I do the work every day, and it's not always easy or pretty. And then I open the door for others. Okay. But I wake up to confront the areas in me, in love, that need a facelift so I can keep going forward. What will you do? You're doing all this working out, but are you working out on the inside of you? Or are you still hateful? You still mean? You still a cesspool? Reach out, hun. Or anyone that you feel comfortable with. Because these constant cycles of going through the same stuff over and over again, it's time to break these cycles. What are you afraid of losing? And once you see colonialism and imperialism played everybody, either your ancestors dealt it or your ancestors felt it. One or the other. And it's time to change these rules, these regulations, and these laws. It's time out for this BS. It really is. It's 2026 and we still going with this ignorance. That is a mental health problem. Quit playing the game and they're going to start glitching. Okay. You won't know what to do unless we fight one another. Because that's all they do. They beast and they fight each other. Let them fight each other. Let them fight it up. And we keep living our best life. Okay. How about we find ways to have a conversation that causes a pause to see life differently in all areas? This will cause us to quit blaming somebody else for our problems and see what we, the person in the mirror, why have missed it. Okay. We can only meet people where we have fully met ourselves. Remember that next time you say you want a real relationship, it requires you to take the mask off and put it on the table and put down your representative. We have so many adults who were never taught how to feel safe. So they seek safety and validation on the outside of themselves because of a plethora of challenges that happen in childhood processes. So I ask you, what emotions from your childhood pushed you in a corner and made you make a vow to not do a beat? I hate them. I hate her. I hate him. They abandoned me. They did this to me. They did that. If your parents was in the what you call that? The baby boomer age, they lost 10 of their heroes in less than 6 months in a year. They was tapped out. Their bandwidth is just gone. They were under so much. So that's why we was latchkey kids. That's why Generation X was latchkey kids. Okay, we know how to take care of ourselves, our brothers and sisters. We know how to take care of the neighborhood. Okay, alright. So release them and keep it moving. They were children raising children. That don't mean you let them back in your life with that craziness. Nah, you let them figure out what they want. See, the vows that we all made is playing out on the big stage. If you see it over there, it's in here. Remember that. It may not be as big, but it's in here. What level of control are you trying to do in your life? While we get to protest and speak our minds, are we helping that little girl and that little boy on the inside of us here? That's our true shadow. I'm being commissioned to aid in the process of sharing how I overcame it, everything meant to keep me from coming into my true identity. I had to believe in myself and God. Let me tell you something. See, God is on the inside of me, but first I had to find me before I talked to God. Why? Because I had God locked up in my heart behind 4x4s, 6x6s, 12x12s, and my inner child was in there too. So God and my inner child were like, I couldn't hear him. And it wasn't until I opened up my heart and removed that anger, that unforgiveness, that bitterness, and the childhood wounding that I was able to hear what God had to say. Then my intuition was on point. Okay, but first I had to go deal with some things that was in here. I was blocking God. Remember, I'm God on this earth, but if I'm blocking God's voice, I am walking blind. We're taught God is on the outside of us in the great by and by. God is on the inside waiting to be tied into our battles. 2 Corinthians 10 and Ephesians 6 says, we're fighting principalities, rulers of the darkness, and spiritual wickedness in high places. This is when negative thinking has gone on for so long on this planet. Remember, we're spirit beings first. That it's a norm in society. Those isms, the racism, sexism, womanism, all these isms that's been going on for so long, and it's in the fabric of America. Because it's old as apple pie. This is what every ascended master had to fight against. Buddha, Jesus, Krishna, call them all Hecate. Let's call them all out. They had to fight against. You know why they said it? They said all said the same thing. Even Allah said the same thing. He said your tradition, all of them said this, it's making the word of no effect. Where are you in a tradition that you're making the word of no effect? So you read the word, but then you go do what you normally do. You read the word and you throw the Bible in the back of your car until you go back to church again. You throw the Quran in the back until you come to church, until you go back to the mosque. You throw your ephod down and you don't pick it up again until you back into the practitioner. What's going on with us? What's going on with us? And then we say we won't change, but we're not willing to do it in us first. What are we doing? I'm not beating nobody up. I'm just saying, are we seeing ourselves? The mindsets of us who complain but don't want to do the work or don't even know how to do the work. And because of they dip in Miranda, most can't get out because it's ancestral. So to get out, it requires one to get uncomfortable, to get past the plateau of complacency or this is how we've always done it. Because see, if you in complacency, you also in complicitness. I don't want to choose. I don't know what to do. Okay, well, you already chose a side. Oh, this is how we've always done it. You just chose a side too. And that side is constantly being destroyed. That whole ram is being destroyed. But they ain't going down without a fight, so it looked like they still winning, but they not. They know they already lost. That's why ain't nobody defending nobody. They just shooting each other in the foot. Just pay attention. When are we going to respect each other? Yes, we know FBAs was here first. But we're the human race. They separated us by color. Let's get the color out of the way. I want you to see my color. Yes, I do. Because if you don't see my color, you don't see me. So I need you to see this black. I want to see your whiteness. I want to see your brown. I want to see your olive skin. I want to see all of that. I want to see your peach skin because white doesn't exist. Your skin is really peach or olive. I want to see all of that. We talk about it and just get it out in the open and deal with it. Instead of acting like it doesn't exist. Because the more we act like it doesn't exist, it's time to look at situations like they're doing in Minnesota. Yes, they are actually putting stuff on the table. Prince said it before he left here. He said the revolution will be televised. It will start in Minneapolis. He said that before he left here. So what are you willing to bring to life? Remember, God said you can build anything you want as long as you don't hurt yourself or others. Because when you start hurting others, you're dealing with God. You could change this world at one thing that you do that lights up. You just need to be one person to light up and other people to light up with you. Fight for your dream while hurting none. We've learned a lot in the last few weeks. Do what is right for you. No one lives your life. Be sovereign but not controlled. Think for yourself. Use your critical thinking. And if you protect others, continue to protect those that can't and don't know how to. Bring your dream to life no matter what you see in front of you. Don't stop. May the force be with you as you go and may the power of God be in your hearts as you move. Don't let nothing stop you. Don't stop. Don't stop. Get it. Don't stop. Or how they say it over here. Don't stop. Seeger. Don't stop. Seeger. Okay. There are some freebies in the link for my podcast with the Women's Leveling Up that was done in the month of May. I was also in some magazines. Let's go. September, October, December, January. I was on the front cover of a magazine this month. Look in the description below to find the things that truly light you up and leave everything else behind. I cannot wait to talk to you soon. Remember, I placed a link to my own personal bookstore. Ting. My books incorporate the essence of God. If you want to feel the presence of God, read In the Garden with the Father, Understanding True Intimacy. Okay. Let's read an excerpt. Let's go in the middle somewhere. Page 46. Stay in a place of vulnerability and allow me to lead you to where you need to go. Trust me to minister to you. Rest in me and trust me to handle your life. I have you. Just relax. Don't look at what you see. Relax, trust, rest in me. Which one is this one? All right. Don't forget about my other two books, Befriending the Shadow, Unshakable, Peace, Unstoppable Change. Both of those books are shadow activity books. I didn't see anything like that on the market, and I kept getting ideas for it. Guys said, well, make it. I said, well, say less. So you get a word of knowledge, just like that book. Then you get a exercise, and it's going to be some hunts. Some hunts in here, okay? Some hunts, you're going to have to look around for some stuff. They scattered around in the book. Then you're going to get a shadow question. Not so nice because it's going to cause you to look at yourself. Then you're going to get a color page. God asked me to keep it between the age of 5 and 10. Why? Because most childhood wounds happen between the age of 5 and 10. After, it can happen after the age of 10, but most before 10. But by the age of 7, it's solidified in the system. If nobody comes and assists you by the age of 10, it is really in your system. By the age of 21 and 25, it is now your responsibility to walk out. Because with 21 and 25, no one can tell you anything because you know everything, right? Nobody can tell you anything. And then you get 4 pages. There's 22 chapters per book. You get 4 pages to draw, doodle, put down your dreams, your visions, whatever you want to do. Why? Because the closer you get to God, the Stranger Things, the X-Files, you start having these moments you can't explain. You can't explain it. You can't. And people be standing right there with you when it happens. They come out. What you doing? What you doing? You doing magic over here. You playing with me. And you just like, I ain't doing nothing. You see it just like I see it. You can't explain stuff to people that refuse to see what they see in front of them. Okay. Don't forget about my books. It's already on New York Times bestseller list. Influencer Impact with Chris Voss. Mindset Matters with Jack Canfield. Because God don't care nothing about, you can pick up those books anywhere. God don't care nothing about your background. He don't. Okay. He know everything about you, everything you done in the booth in the back of the door, and God still loves you. Even with seeing everything that we've ever done, God still loves us. Remember that. Notebooks and journals for all, coloring books that help in meditating and recalibrating the mind. I'm excited about this venture. Why? Because I have a catalog on Amazon. But on my special bookstore, let me tell you, I have stuff how to walk through the deepest, darkest Vanoses in your life, step by step, and how to get out and stay out. Don't forget about the link of the 105 spiritual laws that govern the earth. Remember, we no longer underneath the Mosaic laws. We under love and grace. When Jesus came, you could say Jesus was a prophet. You could say Jesus did exist. You could say Jesus was an archetype. But let me break it down to you. Every time you say his name, people with them real spirits in them, they start foaming at their mouth and acting a fool and falling on the floor. I seen it for myself. Honey, child, they get so mad and want to, I'm going to do this to you. I said, child, you don't have no power over me. Go somewhere and sit down. I send you to other darkness where they're weeping in national TV. Anybody got time for you? And they just look at me and they just walk away. Child, let me tell you something. Love, when Judas betrayed Jesus, did you see Judas anymore? That means you put up a boundary. Don't listen to the church. Oh, you need your Judas. You need your Judas, yes, because they take you to the promised land. Exactly. But once you find it, you put them out. Because you're going to get another one. Every level you go to, you get at least 3, 4. Okay. Don't build them things up to be jabbing you in your back like you in a jail, okay? Don't do that. Let them go, boop, and then you put love. Love allows you to forgive the unforgivable because they already got a boundary, okay? You don't have to deal with them no more. The disciples asked Jesus, how many times will I forgive my brother? 7 times? Jesus said no, 7 times 70. Then on top of that, Jesus said the Lord's Prayer. Forgive me on my debts as I forgive my debtors. So I forgive myself in love for myself first. Then I forgive them. So I say, I forgive myself. You know why I forgive myself? Because I didn't know what I know today. I just found this out, and I will not be beating myself up for something I just found out today. Okay. And then I forgive them. I'm not forgiving them for them. I'm forgiving them for me. Because if I don't forgive them, I'm not moving. I'm going to be in quicksand or see me until I move. Then people can get a hold of me. And then I will be in the utter darkness where there's weeping and gnashing of teeth. Okay, because I can't move until I forgive. So once I forgive, I can keep it moving. See, that's what the system wants you to do. They want you to stay in anger. But once you forgive, they and then grace. Grace is God's willingness to get involved with you in the affairs and pull you out of any situation that you're in. Okay? All right. Okay. Make sure you study to show yourself approved. Don't forget to sign up for the newsletter for the juicy updates and upcoming events. You do not want to miss what's going on because there's some stuff going on over here. Don't forget about the Azure PDF along with your 400 PDF. Put them together, change your whole Sims character to this Sims game. But this ain't nothing but a hologram. You choose how your life is gonna be. Okay, look at my new app for school, honey. I got some stuff together over there. Come on over here and hang out with me. I was inducted into the new class of Who's Who with influential women and Who's Who 2025, and also the women worldwide. God was bringing me stuff. Do you think I blocked it? Nope, I received it all because I'm worthy and I've been through everything that you could think of. Honey, look at this right here. Look at what, in 2017, when I was doing the work with my nonprofit, Refuge Women's Transition Center. Honey, I was bringing teenage girls and women out of sex trafficking, right? But then I had a whole lot of help, but then they left me to go help out somebody else with a bigger name to do the same thing that I was doing, and God said, let it be. I had them sign NDAs and everything. God said, let it be and keep doing what I told you to do. I said, say less. Because, when God gives you a mission, when God gives you a business, that's no longer just a business. That's a ministry, and you treat it as such. You treat it at a high level of respect and authority, all right? Then on top of that, I was helping teenage girls that came out and said they were LGBTQ, AI, and young girls that came out and said they were pregnant. Their parents kicked them out. I said, no, we can't do that. We're in the wrong. No, don't do that. Don't do that. They was like, what? I said, no, just give them to me. I'll take care of it. I took them to wherever I was at, in the building I was at, or I took them to a team building. Most of them wanted to be around other teams, and I said, so be it. Then I was helping out women that was in domestic violence, and we lost 2 women. Why? Because they went back. Everybody's addicted to something. People are addicted to cigarettes to the point they are smoking cigarettes while with an oxygen tank. They trying to take everybody out. Okay. Then you got people that go to the emergency room because they were smoking weed and the weed gave them nausea and now they throwing up. The doctor give them medication and they still smoking the weed while taking the medication. I don't judge nobody. Then you have people that's going to the gym over at least 5 times a day. And then you have people that's working out at least 3 to 5 times a day. I don't judge nobody because if I judge them, I gotta judge me. Okay. And then I was helping people that lost everything in house fires and floods. Because everybody knew I had a nonprofit, they was giving to me all the time. All the time they was giving to me. And then on top of that, and people were coming from everywhere. So I would ask them how many rooms you need. They would tell me. I said, I'm going to take what you need. And I was giving them toiletries. Then I was giving them female toiletries. Then I was also giving them fingernail polish and fingernail polish remover. Because in order to paint your nails, you got to come out of shop mode. You got to come out of that shop mode to deal with yourself. So to come out of that mode, I gave them that so they could come out. I learned that in medical school. Okay. Dealing with massage therapy and pharmacy tech. Dealing with medication. Showing you how to come down for a second so you can do that. So you can relax and be with yourself. And give yourself self-care. Okay. And be present in the present moment. Then I also helped this young lady. I would put it on social media. I was looking for some families to help for Thanksgiving and Christmas. And so she reached out and said she needed some help. I said, well, same as. So then I went ahead and reached out. When she reached out, I went to Honey Baked Ham. That was my budget. And then I also gave $150 worth of groceries. Same thing for Christmas. Find out people was getting laid off of the job for Christmas. I gave them 2 gifts for their kids. 2 gifts for each child. Did my budget. Okay. Gave them Honey Baked Ham. And made sure they received $150 worth of groceries. Then I helped 2 women go to therapy for 3 to 6 months. And then I gave them $250 worth of groceries or $150 worth of groceries. You have to see it on the website. You can go to www.rwt.org. You can see it. I didn't take any pictures of the women and the teenagers because that was going to put my life in danger, and I wasn't willing to put my life or my family's life in danger. Okay. But as you see, we lost 2 women, so just put it out there. I'm glad God doesn't forget what you do because people forget. I helped so many people out. I paid their house notes. I paid people apartment notes. I paid people car notes. I paid people car insurance. People just forget what happened because I was helping out so many people, so many uppity people, and then they started treating me like they never seen me before. And God said, don't worry about it. I remember what you did. Don't worry about it. And God said, whatever you do in private, I reward you in public. Without that fan for, I'm going to still take care of you. And look, God is faithful. And I'm thankful for everything that God has done for me. And don't forget to look at the link to receive 25% off your first order. This is the company I use along with all natural remedies for the diagnosis I received in 2017. I was given a diagnosis of breast cancer, and I said, the devil is a lie. I ain't going nowhere. I heard what you said. They gave me 6 months to live. I said, I heard what you said, but I ain't going nowhere. The doctor said, don't you say that's what I said, but if I agree with it, I'm gone. See, the minute you tell your cells that you got it, your cells start saying, okay, what we going to do? We're going to shut down. I'm like, oh, no, the devil is a lie. We're going to fight to the end. We going out fighting. Okay, we going down like rock, like a Muhammad Ali. We fighting to the end. Child, I told them doctors how I bind up every disease, every germ, every bacteria, every growth, every tumor, every parasite, and I send it back to the pit of hell, and I loose the blood of Jesus, and I loose the hand of God, and I take full responsibility for the food I ate. Yes, they poison the food because of the tobacco companies that use all them tobacco companies. The 3 tobacco companies took over the food industry. Don't you think that's why the food industry is the poison? They took all that mess that was in the cigarettes and put it in our food. And in the USPC, the people over the food, the FDA was like, yeah, it's FDA approved. Y'all really need to sit down. Y'all allowed them to put some of this stuff in the food. Y'all allowed them to give out medicine that ain't even supposed to be given to the black population. And people, legs fell off, arms, hands. And y'all talking about, oh, it's just because of diabetes. No, it's not. I knew back in 2015 we weren't even, but you was showing this to me when I was in pharmacy tech school that we wasn't even supposed to be doing that. They were documentaries then. Y'all knew. You knew then because you already talking about we didn't have enough. You were using Henrietta Lacks cells to do the studies. You knew exactly what you was doing. And you still did it. Watch what's going to happen to you. Crumble, 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 crumble. Okay. And then I left there and I started talking to God. God said, get that natural path of God. I said, say less. I pulled out everything the doctor said, ever said about being alkaline. I put that together. My naturopathic doctor said, that's great, but 5 things on each side we had to let go. I said, well, say less because of your blood type. I still got a whole list. Let's go. Child, and my ancestors said, get that dandelion, get that morning glory to me. Okay, then you got that wild scads. It smells like onions. It is onions. Child, it's wild scads. Our ancestors live off this, and they live to be in centenarians. We are losing our ancestors right now, and they 95, 99, and they lived off this, child. What you ain't finna tell me that I ain't gonna live off the land too. They lived off the land, and they still here. Child, then we had poke salad. Poke salad was like lettuce and cilantro. And it's serrated around the edges. Child, I put it on top of that spinach. Underneath that jasmine rice wilted it, and it went in there. And then, and the chlorophyll started healing me on the inside, and I was hitting with everything. I was fighting for my life out here in these streets. You hear me? And then I put zucchini, squash, and red onions. Those are calcifying agents on top. Then I added some seafood, and then I messed around and started adding some beets to my smoothies. Because beets is for the iron and for the beta carotene. It has more beta carotene than carrots. Yes, child. And use the leaves, because you know you cut up the leaves and you saute them and you saute it. You don't cook it all the way down, but they need to be cooked just a little bit. You saute it and you put it with your spinach and you cut it. Child, it's good on your food. It's good on your food. Child, let me tell you something. I'm going to do everything to fight. And I thank God that I'm still here. Father God, I thank you for loving me, for keeping me, for hugging on me, for giving me wisdom when I didn't know what to do next, for opening up my eyes to see the path in front of me when it looked so dark. I even thank you for the butt whipping. Let me tell you why I thank you for the butt whipping. God, I thank you for the butt whipping because of this. You could have left me like Romans 1 in a reprobate mind, sucking my thumb in the fetal position in the corner, but you did. You said, follow me, do this right here, do that right here. You dropping the wisdom into me. God, I thank you for it all. And you know what? They say we were disenfranchised. They would say we were less than. We were not. The devil is a lie. Devil is a lie. Oh, I rebuke it right now. They said that we were less than. No, we're not. Let me tell you something. They said we were minority. No, we're not. They are, and they know it. Honey, that's why they got on these epigenetics to try to keep people down. Everything that's being done is not just being done. Pay attention to everything. And look underneath the layers. There are so many layers underneath this. Okay. They call themselves beasts back in the 1500s. Okay. Because they crawled on their all fours like animals. Because they operated like animals. Let's go. Do you think that stopped just because they got on a suit? No. Okay. All right. And then they said, well, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. We did, and they took the boots and the shoestrings. Did it stop us? No. We went to school barefooted. Did we care? No. And then the guy said, the next time you go over there and get that bamboo, and next time you take out that venison in that bag, you go ahead and get that. You go ahead and make you some shoes with it and some shoestrings. We said, well, say less. They tell me, wait a minute, we took everything and you still going. Wait a minute, don't you know who we are? We are God's chosen people. We'll never be completely down. We know how to survive out here in these streets. And then we playing spades, tub, and Uno with the raggedest cards and still winning and make it look good to the point that everybody is talking our slang. Everybody is looking like us and want to beat us and have no idea. We make it look good so we can live in it and keep moving. It's called survival. Child, and then let me tell you something. I want to say thank you for being here. Because you could have been anywhere in the world. I just want to say thank you so very much. I said thank you earlier, but I want to say thank you again. I want to say thank you for liking and sharing and subscribing. I want to say thank you for sharing your energy with me, and I want to give it back to you as you have come to share your energy with me today. And I want to thank you so very much for being here. I send you nothing but blessings. I send cleansing and purifying energy to you as you stay on your path. Stay on your path no matter how hard it's going to get. Because it's going to get tougher as we go because they don't want to let go. But as they don't want to let go, that don't mean that we don't quit. That means we dig in deeper and we go harder in the paint with God. Okay. And, ooh, I love you. The love of the Lord. You have a great evening. Good night.